Have you ever wondered if life could actually be better without the constant need for friends, especially as you get older? It may seem like an unusual thought, but for many people, embracing independence in their later years can bring unexpected joy and fulfillment. Take Margaret, for example. At 75, she found herself at a crossroads after the passing of her spouse. For years, she surrounded herself with friends, feeling like she needed that social connection to feel whole. But as time passed, Margaret began to question if all these friendships were truly making her happy. Slowly, she started spending more time on her own and discovered that, far from feeling lonely, she felt more content, more free, and more in tune with herself than ever before. In today's video, we're going to dive into 6 powerful reasons why you might not need friends after 70 and how embracing independence could actually lead to a happier, more fulfilling life. Let's explore Margaret's journey and others who have chosen the path of solitude and found that it was exactly what they needed to thrive. Reason 1: emotional independence. As we age, many of us start to realize that relying on others for emotional support can sometimes leave us feeling more drained than uplifted. This was the case for George, a 72-year-old man who, for years, leaned on his friends for emotional comfort during tough times. However, he began to notice a pattern. Whenever he sought emotional support from others, he would often feel more overwhelmed than before. His friends, while well-meaning, couldn't always provide the kind of support he needed. Sometimes their advice felt more like a burden than a relief. George was beginning to feel like he was constantly leaning on others, and it was wearing him down. One day, after a particularly exhausting conversation with a friend, George decided to try something different. Instead of turning to others, he picked up a paintbrush. He had always enjoyed painting, but had set it aside for years. He started expressing his feelings through art, allowing his emotions to flow onto the canvas. Alongside painting, he also took up journaling, finding that writing his thoughts down helped him process his emotions without external influence. Slowly, he began to notice a shift. Through these solo hobbies, George realized he could find peace and emotional balance without relying on others. Emotional independence is about taking control of your own happiness and well-being. When you no longer feel the need to seek validation from others, you're able to tap into your own emotional strength. Instead of being reliant on friends to help you feel better, you create your own support system, one that is built on self-awareness and self-care. Like George, you can discover how empowering it is to process emotions on your own terms. In the end, emotional independence doesn't mean shutting people out. It means learning how to nurture and care for yourself so that you're never left feeling drained or dependent on others for your happiness. Reason 2: freedom of time. As we get older, our time becomes more precious. For many, especially those with an active social life, it can feel like our schedules are constantly filled with obligations, family gatherings, coffee dates, birthday parties, and other events that can start to feel less like fun and more like a checklist. This was exactly how Helen, a 78-year-old woman, felt for years. She was always juggling various social commitments and felt like her time was rarely her own. It wasn't that Helen didn't enjoy spending time with friends and family, but she found herself saying yes to so many events out of obligation that she started to lose track of the things that truly brought her joy. But one day, Helen decided to make a change. She realized that she no longer had to conform to the expectation of being busy for the sake of being busy. Instead of feeling pressured to attend every gathering, she started embracing her time on her own terms. Now, Her days are filled with the things she truly loves. She spends her mornings reading her favorite books, tending to her beautiful garden, and taking spontaneous trips to places she's always wanted to explore. No more checking a social calendar or rushing to meet someone else's agenda. The beauty of living without the pressure of social commitments is the freedom it brings. You have the power to use your time exactly as you want, without feeling like you need to live up to others' expectations. Like Helen, you can rediscover the simple pleasures of life, whether it's diving into a new hobby, traveling, or simply enjoying a quiet day at home. Without the obligation to constantly please others or fulfill social roles, you free yourself to live with intention, embracing each moment as your own. This freedom is one of the most liberating aspects of independence, and it can lead to a much richer, more fulfilling life. Reason 3. Less drama, more peace. As we age, one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves is peace of mind, and sometimes that means stepping away from the drama and conflict that can arise in friendships. This was a lesson Frank, an 80-year-old man, learned after years of being part of a close-knit group of friends. At first, Frank loved the camaraderie and laughter that came with having a strong circle of friends. But over time, he began to notice that the group's dynamic was becoming more exhausting than enjoyable. There was always someone upset, some gossip circulating, and conflicts brewing between members. Frank found himself constantly caught up in these emotional roller coasters, trying to mediate, offer advice, and put out fires. One day, after yet another heated discussion that left him feeling drained, Frank had an epiphany. He realized that the constant drama was robbing him of the peace he craved. He decided to step back, slowly distancing himself from the group. At first it felt lonely, but gradually he started to embrace the quiet moments and solitude. Without the constant back and forth of social conflicts, Frank found that life became much simpler and more peaceful. Now, instead of dealing with misunderstandings or hurt feelings, Frank enjoys a calm, drama-free life where he can focus on his own happiness without the weight of others' emotional baggage. This shift toward independence means that you can live a life that's free from the stress and emotional turmoil that sometimes comes with social interactions. Less drama equals more peace. Without the ups and downs of friendships or the obligation to manage conflicts, you can cultivate a calm, centered existence that truly aligns with your well-being. Like Frank, embracing a drama-free life at this stage can be one of the most peaceful decisions you make, offering you the serenity and clarity to live on your own terms. Reason 4. Self-discovery and personal growth. One of the most incredible things about living independently after 70 is the opportunity for self-discovery and personal growth. When we're constantly surrounded by friends and family, it's easy to fall into patterns of living to meet others' expectations. But when you choose to embrace solitude, something powerful happens. You have the space and freedom to explore your own passions and dreams without the need for validation or approval from others. Take Dorothy, for example. At 72, after years of focusing on her family and her social circle, she realized that many of her long-lost passions had been set aside. Dorothy had always loved playing the piano as a young woman, but life's responsibilities had pulled her away from it. She also had a passion for cooking, something she had put on the back burner for years. One day, she decided to start taking piano lessons again and enrolled in a cooking class. What began as a simple attempt to reconnect with herself turned into a profound journey of self-discovery. As she immersed herself in these activities, Dorothy found herself growing in ways she hadn't anticipated. Her creativity flourished, her confidence grew, and she discovered that she was capable of so much more than she had ever realized. Living independently gives you the freedom to focus solely on your own growth and fulfillment, without the distraction of pleasing others or fitting into a certain social mold. You can fully explore who you are and what you truly enjoy. Dorothy's experience shows that when you stop seeking validation from a social circle, you create space for your own personal transformation. It's a time for pursuing passions that may have been sidelined and for embracing new hobbies or interests that bring joy. In doing so, you unlock new layers of yourself that you might not have discovered otherwise. This journey of self-discovery and growth is incredibly fulfilling and reminds us that, at any age, it's never too late to become the person you were always meant to be. Reason 5. Stronger focus on health. As we age, one of the most important things we can do for ourselves is to prioritize our health, both physical and mental. However, for many people, friendships and social gatherings can sometimes bring unhealthy habits into our lives. Bill, a 76-year-old man, realized this firsthand. For years, his social life revolved around gatherings where overeating and smoking were common. His friends would encourage him to indulge in unhealthy food, and the social atmosphere often centered around habits that didn't align with his health goals. Over time, Bill noticed that these habits were taking a toll on his body and energy levels, but he didn't feel strong enough to break away from them. Once Bill started focusing more on his independence, he realized that he had the freedom to prioritize his health without the social pressures that had been weighing him down. He began taking long walks each morning, something he had always wanted to do but never found the time for. As he spent more time outdoors, he found his energy increasing and his mood lifting. He also started preparing balanced meals, experimenting with new recipes that supported his overall well-being. Instead of giving in to the unhealthy habits that used to dominate his social life, Bill found that living on his own terms allowed him to make healthier choices, both physically and mentally. Living independently gives you the freedom to put your health first, without the pressure of fitting in with a certain social norm or participating in habits that don't serve your well-being. Like Bill, you can focus more on what makes you feel good and nourished, whether that's taking daily walks, eating more vegetables, or practicing mindfulness. By cutting out the social influences that may have led you to unhealthy habits, you create a lifestyle that aligns with your values and health goals. This focus on personal wellness not only improves your physical health, but also brings greater mental clarity and emotional balance. A healthier lifestyle means a longer, more fulfilling life, and it's a gift you give yourself when you prioritize your own well-being over social expectations. Reason 6. Financial freedom. As we age, one of the most empowering things we can achieve is financial freedom. The ability to manage our money on our own terms, without the pressure to keep up with social expectations. For many, this becomes more difficult when we're constantly surrounded by friends who may have different spending habits or push us to take part in expensive activities. Patricia, a 70-year-old woman, experienced this firsthand. For years, she found herself frequently invited by friends to join pricey trips, attend lavish dinners, or go on weekend getaways. While she didn't want to disappoint anyone, her finances were often stretched thin trying to keep up with these social demands. She was spending more money than she could afford, leaving her stressed and uncertain about her financial future. However, Patricia decided to make a change. She realized that by embracing her independence, she could regain control over her finances. She started saying no to expensive outings and instead focused on activities that didn't come with a hefty price tag. Over time, Patricia developed a more effective budgeting system and began saving money for things she truly wanted to experience, like visiting a local art gallery or taking a solo trip to a quiet destination that fit her budget. Living independently allowed her to align her spending with her values, without feeling the need to match others' lifestyles or be constantly worried about money. Independence offers you the power to take control of your financial situation and make decisions that are best for you without the influence of social pressures. Like Patricia, you can make conscious choices about how you spend your money, focusing on what brings you real joy rather than trying to keep up with expensive trends. This freedom not only reduces financial stress, but also helps you build a more secure future for yourself. When you live on your own terms, you're free to prioritize what matters most, whether that's saving for retirement, investing in your health, or enjoying affordable hobbies. Financial freedom allows you to enjoy your later years without the burden of constantly feeling like you need to impress others, giving you the peace of mind to live comfortably and confidently. Conclusion. As we've seen today, embracing independence after 70 can bring incredible benefits, from emotional freedom to financial peace. Choosing to live life on your own terms can help you rediscover passions, improve your health, and ultimately create a more fulfilling and peaceful life. Just like the stories we've shared, it's never too late to take control of your happiness. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, leave a comment below and let us know, do you agree with the points shared? Comment if you're all in for living independently, or if you think social connections are still key to happiness after 70. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more inspiring content. Until next time, take care and live well.